Tammy, I have 7:03. We'll call the meeting to order. All right. Whew. Consent agenda, previous minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look over the previous minutes?
I would make the motion to accept the minutes as sent out.
I'll second. John seconds it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Do we need to accept the interim meeting that we did that Tammy kicked out the notes for as well?
The interview, yes.
Make a motion to accept the interim meeting we had last week, minutes as presented.
And I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there any other meetings that we've? It's been busy. Finances. Hi Vera, long time no see. Oh, sorry, Todd. Yep, nope, good. Anything that we need to be privy to?
I'm gonna know, collecting taxes again?
Collecting taxes?
Have we got a lot so far?
I was supposed to bring mine up.
Maybe your sheet doesn't know what they got at the end of. 193,000 at the end of 23, at the end of August. I know I have another. Still got $1.9 million to collect.
Just a bit, just a small amount.
We're gaining, we're gaining.
It's usually the last.
That'd be me.
What's this?
I'm in a hurry.
Oh, dude. As you said, I was supposed to bring mine up tonight and I completely forgot, so.
I'm tired with it.
I did look at my sheet today. I was looking at it, you know, maybe like,
It's like, no.
Anybody have, just looking through real quick, does anybody have any questions for Vera?
Vera, I don't know if you saw or not, 2 questions, 2.5. Well, I'm not sure if you saw or not. I did get back to the LTC regarding that question and they came back about the grant writing.
okay.
They came back with E&O is preferred, but general liability, liability, oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Will be, could be acceptable. So I went back to that individual and explained, you know, errors or omissions is preferred, but GL will be fine so long as it's a minimum of $1 million. So we'll see what he comes back with, I assume.
Okay.
When he asked me what to do, I said, honestly, it's down to you and me. I'd probably look at the most economical. Because it's a small time frame.
I had asked that question. I specifically emailed the TA there to find out at the LTV, find out what I needed because I want to make sure that I had everything I was supposed to. That's why I had emailed with.
And my other one was the zoning fund. Brackets is a negative, correct?
No.
So what's the brackets for?
Yeah, brackets are.
So it,
So there's that 2,500, there's no way to put that in this to make it,
Okay.
that 2,500 budgeted for legal. You
Yep.
can't Put it under receipt, it's not a receipt.
No,
You can track stuff on your spreadsheets that shows what you paid out for zoning.
right,
So I didn't know what to do with that, but yes, you're in the negative, but there was 2,500 budgeted.
and that's the legal that pulled us down? That's the legal that pulled us down into the negative?
No, we're in the negative anyway.
Okay,
what page are you on, John?
But that 2,500, that's just a notation, not figured into anything.
Okay,
I'm thinking that maybe that and maybe the grand list should be just tracked on the spreadsheet with all your other expenses that you budget for.
mhm.
Our zoning is in,
All the
Yeah,
others
page
are
2.
specific funds, like town hall repair, conservation commission, reappraisal, fund. Those are all specific funds that you have.
You did.
Those are kind of your expenses, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, I put it in there that way.
this is the same number that you asked about last time, right, John? It's just
It's just changed.
Yeah,
It's moved, the
Yeah.
bill's moved.
Yes, August had $100 receipts, so that kind of helped your bottom line.
Thank you.
which is what you anticipated. That's what you anticipated.
Me?
Yeah, well, that's what you, at the last meeting, he asked you about that. You were like,
We'll get
There's gonna
some-
be, there should be money coming in, which will offset that negative because,
No, I.
okay,
don't
I thought
know.
that, I thought,
I don't have any permits.
okay, all right.
I don't believe I did.
I thought
Because I never know
increase
how many
in the-
permits.
Well, because it's, yeah, it's not. Because it was at 2,500, now it's at 12.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to get enough.
So he's talking this number here.
Expenses was 33, so.
I was just gonna say, if we just made a note somewhere there that the legal, that we budgeted for legal, but it's already on there also, so.
And
But your legal expenses this year for that are not.
Right.
yeah, keep knocking.
You know, 305.
Okay.
All right, and then the only other one, which I may have asked before, I just don't remember because I don't have the old ones with me to make a note. Reimbursement, 176. Do you happen to know what that is?
Reimbursement from who?
It just says reimbursement. That's why I'm asking.
Oh. As in,
That's on roads. That, my guess would be, it's on, you're talking on roads, right?
No, it's under the just says bills. I guess that's road expenses.
Yeah, road expenses at the top.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something that we reimburse for tools or something on the lines of that. CDL 90.
176.40,
Yeah,
at the bottom is an explanation of reimbursements.
I apologize. I didn't see that.
Okay, 176.
Okay, I see what it is.
There's another one that is later.
Okay, we got that. So you break that out almost like monthly, is that the deal?
I think she makes a note of it anytime there's a reimbursement.
At the bottom is because you asked me a question one time, so I decided to put the bottom, so I have it.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the legend or the appendix. Thank you.
We overcharge for medical, their med insurance,
Next one.
so then they get reimbursed. Yep,
Thank you.
I feel like I remember that being discussed at the meeting even. Any other questions for Vera? No, okay, thank you, Vera.
Thank you, Barry.
It's the other. Sorry.
That came out to your favor.
Good evening.
You too.
Thanks for coming in.
Mr. Heinlein, you next on the list here. Just make sure the green light's on your mic.
Press, there you go.
There we go.
Press push.
All right, so, what did I do with that? We had a copy here. Of a bill that I'm assuming you're here about.
Yes,
Okay.
which I had no intentions of sending
Yep,
originally. Had I received the culvert and I already offered the town that I would do it myself if they provided the culvert. And I was told that we had to find out if I had access permit, which it sounds like I did have. And then I was told that Mark and Matt stopped and looked at it and the culvert's plugged. Well, yes, the culvert was plugged.
okay,
It was plugged because that road near my driveway has not been ditched since I've lived there.
which is
I
how
moved
long?
There in 2014,
14.
May 19th. 9 years. Okay. And I stopped again. Mac was not there. Mark and Dan were. Mark's words to me were, "You own an excavator. Just go clean it out." Okay. I went out and cleaned it out. Culvert was plugged. I already knew the culvert was bad
Mhm.
at that point. Is when I stuck my shovel in there to try to dig it out, the edge of the culvert folded over.
Okay,
That does not happen if the culvert's good. So the day of the Loot Gates tournament. I stopped in before the tournament, which would have been
August 11th.
Yep. Stopped in that day. And had another conversation, and I was told to dig the culvert up and shake it out.
Okay,
So I dug the culvert up. I didn't have to shake it out. Because everything that was in it fell out on the ground
okay,
when I dug it up. Again, like I said, I had no intentions of charging the town for anything.
yep,
All I said in the beginning, I knew the culvert was bad. And I wasn't about to hear people pulling in my driveway this spring say, Jesus Christ, what the hell is the crater in the bottom of your driveway for? I already know what it is. I know what the problem is. Okay, I worked in construction for 14 years. Managed millions of dollars worth of work. And you can't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't just waste my breath saying the culvert was bad.
Mhm.
You know what? If I was wrong and you guys did give me a culvert, I'd have been happy to cut you guys a check for depreciation on the culvert or whatever. So let me say the next piece. Do I think the bill that I sent was fair? No, I do not.
Okay,
I did that to get somebody's attention.
yep,
Good
Period.
job.
That's why I did what I did.
okay,
Because nobody in their right mind would pay $2,600 for somebody to change a culvert at the bottom of their driveway. Maybe in the commercial world they might. But not for residents.
yep,
And I wouldn't get any work with my machine if I charged that kind of money.
yep. Nope, makes sense.
So what I think. How much would it cost the town to do it? Cause I think I got a pretty good idea.
Well, it would depend
I'm
on
just thinking,
multiple things, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I was told that at one point they told you they weren't able to do it because they didn't have the machinery. The machinery was on its way, though. Was that said?
nope,
Okay,
I said from the get-go. I stopped down there and Matt showed me the culvert that he did have.
yeah,
And that's when this whole process started. I think I spoke to Lance first. And then Terry, and then it got brought up in a meeting. And then that's when the BS started coming out.
it was brought up in one of our meetings.
Yes,
We discussed it in one of our meetings. Yes.
I think you actually reopened the meeting to discuss it.
When we got the bill.
No, before you got the
No,
bill.
before the bill.
Before you got the bill.
Okay.
So I think it probably would have cost the town about $1,800. Cause I know how much the culvert costs, cause I called EJ Prescott and got a price on one. And I'm thinking there's probably 5 hours worth of labor. Per person. And I'm guessing the labor burden on the town of Bakersfield is $45 an hour. I might be a little conservative on that. But I'm just guessing.
So,
And then there's probably, you know, dump truck, probably $110 an hour. Probably 40, $50 in fuel.
I'm unsure.
I think I'll split the difference with you.
Well, I can tell you. Just from what I know about roads is. You can't, if we were to pay everybody that said. I understand you have a background, but if we just went and everybody who tore up the end of their driveway. And threw in a culvert and sent us a bill, if we paid every single one of them,
Never had an intention in the world. If
So-
anything, I was trying to save the town some money.
I understand
You
that,
guys could be doing something else.
I understand that,
Looking around with a culvert at the bottom of Granger's driveway, that is a man that's able to do it himself.
understood.
And granted,
So-
the ditches look the way they should when it's done.
So. The problem here is, there's a couple problems.
Mhm.
First one is. You went down to Mac, which is what you should have done, he's the road commissioner. Okay,
When I talked to Matt on the day of the Luke Gates tournament, he never got out of his chair.
okay, well, I mean, did he,
Okay, well, I pay his salary.
you
So
pay a
technically-
portion of it, yeah,
I do pay a portion of it, and I can tell you something. That when I manage projects for DEW, when the owner. Walked in to my job trailer. The first thing I did was get out of my chair.
Hmm.
And shake his hand. Period.
yep,
That's the way it should be.
okay.
Do you disagree with that statement, Josh?
No, I've dealt with a lot of people, that's usually how you grade them, yep. So back to my point. You can't, I mean, we can't go paying every single person that digs up the end of their driveway because they're unhappy with it, which,
Understand that, 100%,
um,
get it.
so, like I said, you went down, you talked to Matt, whether or not he got out of his chair, I mean, irrelevant, really.
Yep,
If you were unsatisfied with his answer, that I want to make it very clear that Mac is the road commissioner.
mhm,
So when we go back down to the shop, if Mac's not there, we don't talk to Dan, we don't talk to Merrick. That's just, that's not their job. They shouldn't be answering those questions. And we have,
talk about it then,
yeah, I'm,
you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Work For the town of Bakersfield, that's
Okay.
the taxes to the town of Bakersfield,
I understand that.
I agree.
so period.
Well, then take your time and go down and speak with Merrick.
No, I'm saying point taken.
No,
Just say.
I agree with what Granger's point is here.
So if you're unhappy with the outcomes of that, it is then this group's job to make that right. Okay, so the next step should be to come to a meeting,
Yes.
call, schedule, just like we did with this one. Come here, discuss it, we correct it. Okay, with Mac, you know, if we come in and Mac says, yeah, you know, we went up, we looked at it, it does need to be replaced.
They did look at it,
Great,
said it was plugged,
yep. Which you said it was.
yeah, no shit,
Okay, so we're all in the same boat there,
yeah, fucking whole ditch was full,
right?
137 feet of town road. No, it didn't, Matt.
Hey, guys,
That's enough.
talk with us,
I was gonna take a video.
Take enough, that's enough.
okay?
Got it.
So
Thank you.
we understand what needs to happen. We need to understand as a town, not just, I'm not saying just you, because you didn't go on Facebook and blast this. You posted it. There was not a negative comment. No, but
Town of Bakersfield.
I agree 100%, and I spoke up for you when we looked at that. And I said, there's not a single thing here against the town or the road crew.
All I said, it was a culvert replacement.
Yes, you did. Didn't have any pictures that showed that it was on the side of the road or not. I appreciate that. That's the adult thing to do.
Yep.
Now, we have some other people in this town that don't handle things quite so right. And this needs to be made public again, is that if you have a problem with the town roads, you go to Mac.
Mhm.
If it's not handled to your satisfaction, that is why we're here. Same thing with any of the other groups that are under the town.
Mhm.
You know, if there's an issue with the cemetery, you go to the cemetery commission. If they do not meet your needs, you then come to us and we meet as a group. Okay? The whole idea here is the town works together to solve the town's problems.
Mhm.
We can't do that
And
if,
in the beginning, I was just trying to solve a town's problem.
Yes.
And not put up a stink. I would have ditched the road the way it's ditched now. Would have changed the culvert. Never would have heard a thing.
so what changed, I guess would be my question. When did your switch flip? Sorry, not to,
You know, an excavator, go dig it out.
Yeah.
And then, okay, well, you're just gonna have to dig it up and shake it out. I already told you the culvert was bad multiple times. Nobody wants to listen to me because apparently they think I'm an idiot. Okay? I've managed over $100 million worth of work. Okay, you think I don't know if a culvert is bad?
Stranger.
I mean, no, I'm just telling you. I know.
Nobody thinks you're an idiot.
Well,
You should have come to the select board,
I made.
to a meeting,
And it
to a
got
meeting, so we can discuss it, yes. There are two things. Nobody on this board ever definitively said no. We were in the process of discussing
No,
whether or not.
to see if I even had an access permit until you guys got a bill.
No, that's not true.
That is-
I looked, and I'm the one that came up with a permit.
Nobody looked until after I sent the goddamn bill. Don't even, I'm telling you, that is what happened. Because nobody was real concerned about it until next thing to see is a bill from Granger Heinlein with photographs. And a note on the bottom of it that says if the bill is not paid in 30 days, legal action is gonna be taken.
Kathy,
That's when people's attention got.
Kathy helped me get the permit because it came up before. And what was the first thing I told you? You needed to make sure you had an access permit.
That's not my job to make sure I have it.
No,
There is a few working accounts right away.
but I did.
That's legal action from our side your way.
That's there.
They can't. tell you.
Work with the
Oh, what?
town clerk. And we did come up with a term.
Yeah, I'll go round and round with you for hours.
I know what you're saying. So what you're saying, Granger, is.
I have,
Okay, yep,
Granger, what would it take to get this thing taken care of? If we pay for the culvert, would that make it even?
Give me $1,000.
I don't know what a culvert costs.
Well, my first.
The money.
I don't have it, it's in the.
Here's the bill, what did you pay for the culvert?
I'm trying to find the middle ground here, Granger, for everybody.
And then,
Culvert was $752.60. I'll take $1,000 because my time's not free.
So can I ask a question? Well, anyhow, the culvert you put in, what's it made out of?
It's HDPE, it's plastic culvert.
Is it the
It's
same?
not steel.
Right, so we discussed the culvert and the material that was used. And Mac, is that the material we use?
No, you use galvanized culvert.
Well, we
Not
also,
always.
there's also a heavy duty plastic culvert
Not
that's
always.
acceptable.
I don't have the other.
And I think the discussion we had, Mac, correct me if I'm wrong, that is not
And
gonna last.
It's not the gray plastic culvert.
Right, so the problem is you put culvert in that substandard. Not to this,
Okay, well, let me tell you something.
wait, I'm not a construction guy, listen. You came here, you sat down, I understood, you worked for BEW, you said, hey, if I came in and talked to, my boss came in to me, I would stand.
Owner.
Boss, it's all the same thing.
Same thing.
Stand up.
Stranger.
Hang on a minute, let me
we
just.
gave you the courtesy of listening to you
Well, I'm getting.
for quite some time. You can at least do the same for us.
Just answer me this. So you have a customer come in, let's put it into, you're the guy sitting on the side here or in his position.
Yep.
You have a customer come in and someone says, hey, man, take a look at it, we think it's plugged, whatever. You're like, okay, no problem. Now that customer goes to somebody who, no offense to Dan, no offense to Marky, who is not the guy who's calling the shots. And they come in and say, hey, you're emptying the trash. I'd like to know this. You'd be okay with them accepting something from someone who is not a point of authority?
No, I
Correct.
wouldn't.
Thank you. So you went and you didn't get a hold of Mac on the second or third time, whatever it was. You didn't come to the select board.
Last time.
You didn't come to the select board. You didn't come to the select board. You went to two guys who work for the town, correct, but are not in a position of authority. They could have told you to take a hold.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Rex,
talked to Matt the day before I did this.
Okay,
And he's the one
that's,
that told me
so
to
who,
Cover it up and shake it up.
so who is the last contact?
Was asking you, Mac, you told him to dig up the culvert and shake it out. He told me, I'm digging the culvert up tomorrow.
And you said to shake it out.
If it's full of Granger, you can tell me.
How long that culvert been gone? Was that lot subdivided when Jack and Penny Gott still had it? I got a feeling it probably was.
No, Jesus, you're talking,
Thank you.
I don't think it was.
It's probably been in the ground 30 years and anyone
Yeah.
knows that.
It was way more than 30 years ago.
We've got the original permit, access permit. It's never been changed since then.
Thank you.
The problem is that the only problem I have with this whole conversation is twofold. One, you did it without approval of the monies from the board. So you turn around and you can look at the camera and tell all the taxpayers that I did this out of frustration. Hang on a moment.
No.
Hang on a moment.
I've been all around and tell all the taxpayers that I did this, and I can guarantee you, a lot of them are gonna agree with me.
What I'm saying is that culvert's not gonna last. And we're gonna wind up having to dig it up again and put the right material in.
Dig it up, because I don't wanna see another town piece of equipment near my fucking driveway.
Okay.
Hasn't been one.
No, obviously.
Well, the other thing, Granger, to work in a town road,
Yeah,
you need a permit.
yeah, well, I got told to do it, so,
That's not a permit. It's not even from the right zone.
you know what, Josh, I don't care, what are you gonna do?
That's what we're here to discuss, Granger. So coming at us all pissed off ain't gonna solve anything, because I know,
Frustrated.
and you can get pissed off and irritated with us, but that's not gonna help you. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're here to try and figure this out.
Mhm.
Now, you brought up some good points. There have been some points brought up on this side also. You can't disagree with that, right?
No, then some.
There's been some points. As I said, you put a post on Facebook. I would like to thank you for not slandering the town in that. That is very much appreciated.
Second, all on Facebook. I don't.
No, I don't think they were. I mean, I had a couple of pictures there, so I was like. The issue here is the bill. Now, as I said before, we can't go around. Whether they were told to by the road crew or not, just give me a minute.
Yep.
Whether you were told to by the road crew or not. Some of that, I guarantee was frustration, just like some of what you're saying here is frustration. I understand that. I've been frustrated before a time or two myself.
Mhm.
Say some things that probably shouldn't have.
Yep.
Not saying you, saying maybe our crew, yourself, it happens. You know, I would like this solved before you leave tonight. And quite honestly, I think the absolute best the town is gonna do is pay for the culvert. Okay, I understand your time's not free, but you're not going along with that.
No, I say we should pay him for his time. I'm sorry, I disagree with a lot of this, because number one, he should have never been told to do the work in the first place.
Correct.
And
I did offer to do the work in the first place.
Correct.
If I remember correctly, you offered when you found that we didn't have the equipment to do it and went for several weeks.
No, I had nothing to do. I had no idea the town was buying the goddamn excavator at that point.
Well, no, we normally rent one in the fall and that's. We didn't have time frame as to when we were buying.
I found out that apparently the town will replace your culvert if it fails.
Say something.
Well, then she would need to come up here.
So I went down to the town garage
Just, you can speak.
and then I was told to ask somebody on the select board.
So that's
I said from the get-go that
where
I
that's where
understand
things
you
went
guys
wrong.
will do it free of charge to me. I said I am willing to do it to save the town some money. Because it would have saved the town money and they could have done other things.
I understand. Calm down.
But
We're on the same page here.
I didn't give you any answers that day.
Nobody did.
Exactly.
Right. I
That's why
can't
you need to
as an
come,
individual.
I understand that.
just like this, we can't make any decisions on this until we get here. So we're here,
Yes.
we're discussing this. Now, yeah, good. So. We'll have to ask you to state your name too, though.
I don't know, but I've been a manager for 17 years. And when I wasn't there to take care of something, I had someone in charge. So are these two guys, if Matt's not there, there's no one in charge at all?
If Mac's not there, there's no one to answer the questions like this. They are there, they can work, they can do the work. They're not supposed to answer any questions that are town road related. You can't come in and say, hey, can you dig up my culvert tomorrow? That's not something, that's just like,
really, the correct answer would have been, you need to speak to Matt. We
speak with Mac again.
Bring it to the select.
So it's them, it's those two guys that need to know what they need to say when Matt's not there.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's, which is what we agreed upon, a couple of minutes ago. That's what we said. Dan no longer works for the town. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not. Dan retired, but no. Yeah, and it's, I always thought it was. And I'm nothing against you, I always thought it was common knowledge that if you need something done in the town. You go through the road commissioner, and after the road commissioner, if you're not satisfied with the answer, you come to the select board. I understand you reached out to a couple of select board members. Now,
Didn't get brought up in the meeting.
it did, but not to the extent that we needed it to. I personally didn't understand what we were looking at. It was Granger Heinlein's having some issues with his driveway.
Yeah.
Okay, send Mac out, check it out. It sounds like Mac did go and check it out. You still are not happy with the answer. Right? Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yep, so at that point, that's when
Thank you.
you call Kathy. Okay? Kathy, Granger Heinlein, I'd like to be on the next select board agenda to discuss my driveway.
Nobody ever called me or told me that their conclusion was that the culvert's plugged.
Okay, so there was
Tell me.
poor communication.
Yeah.
We're saying the same thing. We're just saying it in two different tones here, okay? So. I'm at $750, you're at $1,000 even. That's,
May I make a suggestion?
you can,
In light of the,
That machine,
let Lance talk for a minute, just.
in light of the fact that you did this work without applying for a permit. Okay? Which is a nominal fee to get the permit.
Apply for a permit for.
The work within the town right of way. Okay,
He
we'll
wouldn't-
ignore that and pay for the culvert.
Everybody has to.
But he wouldn't have done the work if the town had done it.
How much is the fee for the permit?
I don't know.
I
That's
doubt
assuming.
It's any more than $25,
Mr.
$50.
Okay, I'll pay that and still take $1,000.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion, we pay Granger Highline $1,000 for the work that was completed.
I'll second that.
motion has been made and seconded to pay Granger Heinlein $1,000 for a culvert and hours for replacement on his property driveway. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No,
Vote pass.
just because I'm afraid what this is gonna bring from the next person who rolls through the doors.
I
Nothing
think,
against you, Granger. I'm
John,
just concerned about other.
Right, and if-
we need to educate the town on the process.
We need to
And I don't
educate the
think we do
employees of
well
the
enough.
town of the process.
Yes.
If you do any more work on the edge of the road, or
Yeah.
would you please apply for the permit and make us aware of what's going on?
Yeah, I don't have.
And by us, Granger,
Town's right away, is 3 Rod Road, right?
3 Rod Road.
Yes, sir.
So, and when we say make us aware, I'd prefer if it was the entire board.
Yeah.
In writing would be great, yes.
It's.
It does get lost, and I didn't even want it to go.
No. nobody did.
No, at all.
No,
Mr. Heinlein.
I think that's.
I hope there's no hard feelings here.
There is none.
I thought you were gonna say there is, I was like, ouch.
No, thank you, Greg.
So
Thank you, Granger.
are you all set with me writing this? Let me just make sure, I'm gonna cross this out here.
Granger, take it easy, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do, just because I can't do this math in my head, $1,000 minus 750, 260. 4740. Sufficient, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
yep.
you can just give that to Tammy right there. She'll make sure that gets submitted.
Okay.
Keep it. We're signing programs tonight. Today's the second Monday, so it won't be on until the next morning, just so you're aware.
Right now.
Okay,
Thank you, Granger. You too.
Sorry for the emotion.
you're fine. Cemetery, hers house, Oak Cemetery.
Yeah, why don't we hang on to that one?
Yeah, it's, I just don't like it. but it's a town-
I'm thinking that face is all red, blood pressure's through the roof. If they came in with a cuff right now, they'd wear it as dead. Yeah, might get that from a certain side of the family.
As a matter of fact, that's not always true. He used to go over there and mow it when he was a kid.
Where's that?
Cooks.
Yep, when I was little.
My son did grow up. Dad did.
Mm. I think that's
Everybody knows.
how we ended up with the jobs that.
Yeah.
Stacy's also a member of our cemetery commission, as is Heather.
So you have a quorum.
Aye.
Excellent.
Okay, so two reasons that we were here. First one on your list, I think, is Hearst House.
It is.
In your list 14, it says that the Hearst House is under the authority of the town and not the cemetery commission. Lance said that the cemetery commission relinquished the oversight of the Hearst House to the town based on the deed. I don't follow that, understand it. Hearst House has always been under jurisdiction of the cemetery commission. Having materials stored in there that are used in the cemetery.
Right.
But you kind of swapping directions here.
Yeah, you brought that to us.
I said, when you said the cemetery commission owns, you know, this, I said the cemetery commission owns nothing. But we do.
You were
we
sitting
are-
there when we made this motion.
Total authority over the cemetery. We're the ones that hire somebody to mow it, maintain it. We're the ones that have to go in there
For the cemetery.
for the cemetery. The first house is used as a tool of the cemetery commission to
So,
house materials needed to maintain the cemetery.
So the night that you came to the meeting, the night that you came to that meeting, you told us that that Hearst house needed to be renovated. It was unsafe. Maria DeRosa is in there with her lawnmower and she's pregnant. And if something happens, we need to get that renovated, but that the cemetery does not own it, the town does. That's exactly what you said.
And that the,
That's how he got.
The town does own
that the cemetery funds came.
it. And it's the.
And the cemetery can't, right?
The area that she was parking in is only a portion of the first house. It's the back portion, it's the garage part where the hearse used to be stored.
uh-huh.
And I said it was okay for Maria to park her.
Lawn tractor, yep.
In my garage area, okay, that's temporary until that's fixed. Okay,
They also have a
We
trailer.
didn't decide that, but
They also have a trailer.
they have a trailer.
Yes.
Garage right has permission.
No, I mean, they have a trailer so they can haul their equipment back and forth when they mow this lawn.
we
They
didn't.
are for the most part, but they still have weed whackers and all that stuff that's over in my garage.
Okay, no, it is not the responsibility of the town to provide them.
But.
No, it's not the responsibility of the town.
Try to cooperate,
Right, but what you're saying is we need to put
no,
$10,000 into this Hearst house so we can store a couple of lawnmowers and weed whackers.
as a taxpayer. Okay, and a resident. We work together. you
Yes.
know?
I understand
The
that.
commission wants to work with the town. We understand if
So-
someone owns that, we will work with the town. We will apply for grants,
Okay,
okay?
so
But
up until this
You
point,
said the town owns it.
The town does own it. When, okay, so when we filled out that paperwork and they say, who owns the building? It's the town, it's not the cemetery commission.
Okay,
It's not deeded to us, right?
all right, that's okay.
Okay,
So we do own it.
you do own it. But you do know the role of the cemetery commission.
take care.
You can't have it
of
both
Take
ways.
care
You
of the
can't.
cemetery.
You wanna deed it to us or what?
No,
If we deed it to you, does that wipe the town clean of any of the responsibilities of repairing this building?
We work together to get it to repeat.
So, yes, yes, the town, the cemetery is owned by the town and the cemetery commission is. Yes,
well, yeah, it's owned by the town, but that's
right. The difference is, Tammy, if I can clarify. When you put in a stone on the cemetery, who is responsible for the upkeep of that stone?
The owner of the stone.
Okay. In this case. If we are being told by the cemetery commission. That's what we've seen in the past. I know there's a quorum here tonight and that may not be exactly how it's been interpreted. We're being told that we need to dump's a bad word. We need to fund the restoration of this building. They do not if we own it.
Any authority.
They have the authority.
We have the authority to spend money on it.
It's the authority to decide anything you own it. It's the same.
It's grounds versus a building.
Yes, please.
That was a pretty good one.
There's a question.
Then my take on this is the confusion is, and this helps me, there's an umbrella, right? This is the town. Under the town, there are organizations that are responsible for different parts of the town. We have a conservation commission person here.
Mhm.
You do own the Carrot Farm. However,
Yep.
it is under the jurisdiction right now of your conservation commission. I believe the same thing applies for the next town. I could be wrong, but I do think that's the case.
Yes, but would the Conservation Commission undertake any major projects without informing the town of what they were doing?
I doubt it. I don't.
No, you can speak to it because what have you been doing? Well, you've done the grants application for the buildings. You came, you helped, you explained to us the steps that were going to be undertaken, and we've been working on that. The way the Hearst House has been presented is it is the cemetery commissions to do with as they see fit, unless it needs money. And then it is the towns to pay for it. No, in the conservation committee, if you needed monies to fix your buildings, that would go into your next fiscal year's budget. Our buildings, yes, you would go in, if you were the overseer of a building, you would budget that for the following year. Correct? Okay, that's what we're asking for now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna say, yes, go fix the Hearst House. We're going to say, get us the quotes, get us the estimates, get us all the financials that we need. Bring that before all of the taxpayers. And let them make the decision. Does that seem fair? Does that seem?
But let's back up.
Okay.
Where we got on this bandwagon to begin with.
I think it's the fact that the building is split in half. Half is owned by the town, half is owned by the cemetery commission.
No,
No, all right, I was trying.
I have one question. I'm confused because when they came here and presented before, we were told that only the cemetery itself, the physical cemetery plot, could be
Yes.
used for funds out of their budget, that the Hearst House could not be used. So that's where I'm confused.
did
Oh,
we
I
say
can
specific?
You did say
That's,
that.
you did say that based on law. based
Because
on
that's
law.
why you
Right.
guys can't
That's why.
borrow the front anymore,
Right.
is because cemetery monies. You
Can't
said
be used
it,
for
you
anything
said
else.
cemetery money
But
can't be
then-
used for anything other
And
than.
supports the cemetery part of that.
Yes, but at that same meeting, you said you couldn't spend money on the Hearst House because of that, for that reason.
Then I apologize.
Yeah,
I misspoke.
to go with the cemetery.
We don't disagree.
No, I'm not.
It's presented to us in 7 different ways, all depending on whether it was for the usage or if we needed to pay for something. If it was for the usage, the cemetery commission had total control over it and it was theirs. If it needed money for repairs, it was the town's building and we needed to find money. That's how it's been brought to us for what, over a year now?
We started with the ARPA funds. We had volunteers and they said that they had.
We actually,
For pressure treating. And then you folks said, I can cut down a hemlock tree and you said.
I did. There's still, it's at his farm.
Still sitting at Lance's.
And you were gonna bring your class with a portable.
Yes, I have a portable sawmill, as does Matt.
I said, are you confident that that's gonna be available for you about last fall? And they said, yes, we are. I said, I'm not. And they still don't have it. In meantime, one of the volunteers.
What?
And out part of the floor. In that first house.
Which they had to do to ascertain how much lumber or exactly what lumber needed to be cut. And the supplier of the lumber here and the people who volunteered to saw said logs have yet to receive a list of materials needed.
I apologize for that. Our volunteers
I
are not in a
was gonna say, I
position,
thought that was mine, and then-
he's not in a position to do that.
I understand that, but the list could be passed on.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean, I can,
The logs are at my place. There are two different people who offered their mills.
and I can show up and make a boatload of boards out of that, but if I don't know what I'm cutting, I'm just cutting.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna do anybody any good. You know, you may be able to redo the floors in this building once again, but
Meeting that Lyle came to.
yeah.
Yes, we did. We're repeating ourselves here.
You guys were gonna interact and get that information. I wasn't gonna be the middle person.
No, Lyle was gonna provide it.
Lyle was.
Yeah.
These guys.
Yes,
So
unfortunately.
I at one point saw a partial list of materials, but I never got a copy of it.
Really.
Well, in the-
Well,
in the partial list that we did receive had stuff that wasn't even capable of being on. It was, you know, there was plywood on there, there was. Yes. Because it was incomplete, and yeah, I mean, we. Mac, you can attest to it, we had two sawmills that literally all we had to do was drop on the ball of a pickup. And we could have set up right there in front of the building, had them all sawed out, stacked, ready to rock and roll.
I could have saved the mess, sawed them up at my farm and brought the clean lumber up here.
And still can?
Still can, still need a list.
So you need to get hold of the person that's doing it. It's not be the middleman before it finds the deal.
Well, I think that at this point, we find another group to do it. And we are getting estimates from my plan here.
That's gonna cost more,
That costs.
that's gonna cost more.
And meanwhile, what happened to the grant application?
The grant application.
Yes,
Well, you had said initially you thought the building was on the National Registry of Historic Buildings.
no, I said I thought it might be, yeah.
You know what I just said?
That's what you just said.
Yeah, that is. Might have been word for word.
Man, now I wonder if it's
Yeah.
pretty.
Why?
I heard you wrong that time, just to put it clear.
So I checked with the Vermont Division of Historic Preservation. The application was put
Yeah,
in,
big
but it was
gas, man.
not complete. Nancy Hunt submitted that. She had family problems, her house burned, her son died,
Oh, my.
and the
that
application was
is-
not completed.
No,
In the
that's,
meantime, during COVID, their application process changed.
Okay.
So now they want us to submit a new application and contact UVM for a graduate student to come and update that application.
Yeah,
I contacted that professor. He looked at the partial that was submitted. He said, those graduate students did an excellent job. And he says, I don't believe we need to start from ground zero. He's gonna talk to the folks at the Vermont Division of Preservation Trust.
okay.
And
What-
he's supposed to-
So before we go charging off with this other project with the lumber and sawmills, would it be a good thing to wait until we know what's going on with the grant?
I
because-
think because.
They may require it to be
Right.
restored. They may have to be to a certain extent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they're not gonna be happy about that, but no.
They're not. So anyway. Jan Lindowski got down in that hole and looked underneath and everything. And he's gonna do a report. He said there is a stone foundation around this. Because there was the idea of, are we gonna need to replace that stone foundation? Or go with a poured concrete foundation? If we go with a stone, then can we? Put a vapor barrier in there so you don't get all that moisture from the roof and everything. That wicks under and gets trapped and rots stuff.
Okay. Do you have any idea of the timeline for this grant? I know it's hard sometimes, and you may not, I'm asking.
I would hope there would be applications this fall and early spring. That we can work with. But those are historic.
Yeah. If we go messing with it. with our plans, it may save the building in the short run, but it may make us ineligible for the,
Yeah,
grants.
complicate things.
yeah.
Definitely. But we need to work with the town on this.
So
Because we're not washing our hands of the Hearst.
okay, what would you, I guess we just need to come down to, here's the line and say, what are you looking for from us, from the town, from,
Work with us, not against us, kind of thing.
in what aspects? In what
We've
aspects?
just been looking for clarification. We've heard, oh, you have the Hearst house. Oh, no, the cemetery has the Hearst house. And we've been, personally, I've been confused as hell because.
So we own it,
Okay.
therefore,
You own it, you maintain it.
I like that. That needs a lot of maintenance. That needs a lot of maintenance over there.
Be careful what you wish for.
Mine. That's mine.
Okay.
Sevens?
It's all the windows last year.
Is there some kind of, bylaw, some kind of thing that explains exactly what the cemetery commission?
It's a state description for the cemetery commission.
Yeah, cause that's why I don't have a comment anymore.
So, and the only problem with that is not all towns have the hearse houses like we do.
Yeah.
So, but with that, I know the conservation commission, when they formed, came up with
Yes.
bylaws and that sort of thing. Sounds like you could use that to help clarify some of this confusion.
I would imagine that exists somewhere. Like before my time. But. However, 24 years ago, myself and Todd's son Chad were part of the group of high school students that repainted it. And I think that was the last thing that's been done to it to,
Except when there was some
And that-
graffiti put on the east side, that was.
right, that's right, or windows too, yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, at this point, we support you in looking into what needs to be done to make sure that is restored to the correct historical standards for the state. No. We support, we do not, that does not mean financially. That means we will try to help you in ways that we can. If you have items that you want to budget for, have backing, if the grant requires some sort of matching funds, and we can put that on. We can look at the qualifications and the cost and see,
We can set money aside for matching grants.
we can try that.
And we can, I would like to put in a request that I would like
I
to
know, I
have
see it.
Don't let him say that.
regular reports as to any progress. Obviously, if there's no progress, just send in a note and say, no progress on the project. But if you have something, a personal report would be nice.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now, I'm pretty sure we were just talking about some grants that you're going for.
Excellent.
Assessor came,
Mhm.
remember, but I can say on Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, I don't, one of those days. He were over there, he went and looked at all three buildings, said it'd be 2 or 3 weeks before he got the assessment information back.
Okay.
It's done.
It's, it's in motion.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Very good.
And to the example, we did help with matching some funds on that.
We're very familiar with what they were doing because they asked the cemetery commission if they wanted to be involved in that. We said yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, I hope you jumped at that offer because, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to go back to. So the volunteers that were fixing that back part of the Hearst house, we had somebody that put the hole in there. And then you were getting the tree, you were getting the wood, so what's gonna happen with that now? So if the person that dug the hole can't do it anymore?
That's right.
Oh, all right.
So the problem is if it goes through the historic registry. It may have to be redone to a certain standard. So we don't want to go we don't want to go sawing a bunch of hemlock and have them come in and say, these are great, but they're not what they.
Conservation group is working with is from the Vermont Division of Historic Preservation. So we're all on the same.
They're in their project.
Yeah.
Yes.
Money to maintain.
The ironic thing is, they may turn right around and say, yeah.
Well, and that's, I'm gonna cover that right now. So,
What it's made of.
just a quick. Just a quick note,
And,
Linda, just a quick note. Per the law that you brought to us about, cemetery commission money going to cemetery use only.
Yeah.
I would make it very clear when you request funds that it be specifically for hearse house restoration. Do not lump that in with the cemetery commission, or it has to be a separate in the separate cemetery commission. That way, that money cannot be used for mowing. It cannot be used for tree removal. It cannot be used for a new fence. It is specifically used for first house. That's what I figured, but I just want to make sure that we're dotting our i's and crossing our t's right here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the same thing will go for a grant also to help with the fence.
If there was monies that, yeah, if you can't get the whole thing covered and you need to request monies, yes, it would have to go in the same way.
That's for that it's gonna have to be a wood fence and not a vinyl fence or a metal fence.
I'm curious what the, I don't think the fence is a historic event. I don't think so.
If we go for the Paul Broom, that's historic. That would be historic and that does not require matching funds and it's 50 to 100,000. And that fence would be expensive, so. that might be one we wanna go
I am
for.
not so sure. I mean, the upkeep and maintenance on a split rail fence, I'm even worse. That means it's custom cut. That's,
We'd have to stain it instead of paint it.
We need ready to.
Why wouldn't you put something practical in?
yeah, I think a classic cemetery fence with. It may not have that rustic old time fashioned look, but it does it say anywhere that it has to be the same fence continuous?
No.
So you could do the front out here. Since we've combined the cemetery commission, or not cemetery commission, the conservation commission and the parks here. I've often thought why we have that white fence splitting the two. When we could take that fence, maybe run it across the front. Yep.
Since you've been working on fences.
There's some workarounds there.
So are most of us in here, so.
Yeah, let's just go take that fence down.
Linda, while Stacy looks up fences, let me go back to Hearst House and windows.
Yes,
You said you've replaced the windows in the Hearst House?
yes, we had 11 broken windows there and they've
So-
been replaced.
Just the panes of glass?
Yes, the panes of glass because
Okay.
the framing was still good.
Okay. I was just worried when we're talking historical and then we pop in, vinyl covered or something that's different,
Vinyl is final.
Put them out and get it and see, put them in.
It would be final, would be the final note.
Yeah, do the final.
It's
The
just,
frames were all good, so we just
Excellent.
changing the glass out.
thank you.
That was on last year's.
Well,
Keep your homes at home. so-
That,
From 2019, that was our consensus.
Okay.
they will not hold up to that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
How much was the pre-COVID quote?
Installation option A, installation of 1,456 linear feet of 4 feet high white vinyl diamond rail fencing with 3x3 rails and 5x5 posts was 49,000.
$1,000 for a
And
fence.
there's another one that's about double that if you.
So that's the vinyl diamond rail.
Materials only, right?
Years ago.
Yeah.
Is that materials only?
So yeah, now you're gonna need to look for probably $150,000 grant for a fence.
No,
That-
I think just a fence would be fine.
40% increase, I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I've got a,
Don't do it.
Don't even.
Don't do it. You gotta,
This is my.
okay,
I was just gonna say, I've got a solar powered electric fencer. I mean.
so,
That, you know, the.
yeah, and then we could capture the horse that goes with the horse house.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Guys, just under control.
All right, I hate to be that guy, but that was only item one for the cemetery commission. Item two,
Oh, that's only one?
that was only one.
Cook Cemetery.
Cook about cemetery,
Okay,
East Bakersfield,
East Bakersfield.
intersection of Joyle and East Bakersfield.
Still for mowing and maintaining it
Last one to get it.
was.
I know it was you, that's what I'm saying it.
Okay, but who budgeted for that for this year?
So this year, we actually did budget for it.
We budgeted.
we- Yes,
I mean, ultimately, it comes from the same place.
yes, it does.
Because
Yeah.
it comes out. of different-
But I'm curious,
Together.
out of curiosity, how does your charter for the cemetery commission read? Does it read just for the Maple Grove Cemetery, or does it read for all cemeteries?
We are responsible for the cook as well.
You are.
Does it,
Yes,
does it specify which cemeteries?
because the town had been paying it, so we didn't.
That's correct. That is,
I understand
Yep,
that.
yep.
I'm just asking for.
yeah, we're not arguing that point. at all.
In 2024, okay?
Yep.
One of the commons gonna be on town budget, and taking care of Cook Cemetery is gonna be on.
Right, we have discussed with the conservation committee and we've talked to them and we're working with them to make sure that they know to budget for that and it'll be put in with theirs. Yes, we do have it.
And then we're mowing it.
Now, wait, are we? I thought we were gonna use the town team
We are.
to mow, so
We are. That was.
having the town crew mow it
Yes.
when.
The dollar amount of what you think you're gonna save money because you got the town.
Because we're already paying them?
Because you're already paying them, but you
Right.
have all this new equipment so that they could take care of your roads. and
It's not
bridges.
gonna be 3 people that are gonna mow it, it's gonna be 1 person.
Yeah, it
Take
just,
all 3 of them out there.
Yeah, that's gonna be about what, 5 hours a week out of their schedule.
that lawn's an hour. That lawn's an hour. No, I'll bring my zero turn up.
Carolyn Burns is gonna be on our doorstep. It's not.
My zero turn, and I may not even finish a cigar while I'm doing it. I swear to God, I mow my lawn.
Going to do this? Thank you.
Zach is doing it and the crew. They have a morning.
No,
That thing in about an hour.
Zero turn, you're gonna buy them zero turn?
We got.
I got a valley mower for that, which they mow the Brigham lawn with.
yeah,
We're talking about Tom.
I'd say.
okay. All right, so let's put one thing to bed at a time here. Cook Cemetery,
Cook Cemetery, you're gonna take care of the bill this year.
we are going to take care of it this year. That's it. It is here. It's yours.
Tonight
Great.
And next year.
and not
Wait,
next.
wait,
Hold up, hold up.
we're not taking. Cook Cemetery, we're paying the bill for 2023.
Yes,
That's
and
it.
you budgeted, when you went to town meeting in 2023, it was in your budget. So
Yeah.
For,
I think everybody else, 2023 meeting was for the 2023 budget.
Yeah, the Cook Cemetery comes loose.
Yeah.
Everybody else is a year ahead.
The town of Bakersfield is behind. When we vote in the money in March, we already started spending that in January.
Yeah.
Right. So we
It's
don't.
not
have
the
that.
best system, and this is the second time we've talked about it.
Tonight, budget for it for 2020.
Nobody has. Nobody's even put in a budget for 2024.
The town common.
Yeah.
2024, which our team's gonna take over.
The whole thing.
For 2024?
Yeah, right? Wasn't that what we said? They're gonna cut it next year, which means that actually we want $600 back.
It's gonna be as nice as it does right now, right?
listen, it's gonna get cut. It's grass. It grows. Grass grows, we cut it, it grows.
Show a little pride in our community, please.
Do you have complaints about the Brigham Academy?
I do,
Lawn?
yes.
No, I do with the windows.
Well, we did have somebody on Facebook the other day wanting to come in and paint all that. I saw that. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. I like that. I'm sorry, I didn't remember it was you, Shane. So, in that, you signed the road commissioner spot.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Matt.
Yes, we, for the year that is passed, and maybe the one more weed whacking that might happen up there, we are taken care of. We just signed the. It is paid. Next year, you will need to discuss with Ross before you turn in your request for town meeting day budget. Yep. You will need to discuss with Ross.
Or Maria, whoever they hire.
Or Maria. Ross is very familiar with it. Ross has done the upkeep. I think it looks pretty nice. Every time I drive by, I'm like, oh, it looks decent. You know, I mean, it's not getting mowed every week, but I'm not so sure it needs it. And we will discuss with, we will look into the cost to have the town boys mow this. And if it's cheap enough to have it subcontracted out, but that would be something that we budget in the general fund.
Write this down. Maria has contract for this year to mow that, and it's 1,500.
1,500 for the,
Yeah.
You can't sign a
Town
contract for it,
Yeah.
so Maria doesn't have.
No.
Yeah, the town, we didn't sign this contract.
so
Yeah.
that's something you've already signed.
Yes,
Does she realize you're not a legal signer for the town?
you know.
Well, it's Selectboard, so
You're not for the town common.
Town common.
Okay, law that you brought forward to us.
So tell her it's wait, right? Yeah, we'll just,
So she would need to come here and bid on it. Or if we still choose to go with the town,
I thought she told you, Linda, that she was not gonna renegotiate that contract, that you already paid for it. She's gonna keep that money for paying. For mowing that next year. She's not gonna reimburse you that $1,500. Cause it's already a contract. That was already,
breakdown of the two.
she did the breakdown, we asked her for a breakdown.
Right, but
She
I-
gave it to her.
but I thought she contracted it for all and she said, I've got.
has this contract already been, we already paid that contract?
For 2024?
That's,
No.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if they haven't paid it, then it's.
Right, but, and the thing that we were explaining, to Maria said she would not reduce that contract she signed for 2024, so if it was.
Well, you move her over to Cook Cemetery, have her cook,
I don't.
right? She's making up the difference in the 725.
That's just.
It's your-
Sounds.
It's, it's like if people.
That's what was explained to us when we asked about the
It
contract.
gets split, you're not,
Right.
So, the problem with that is if
Right,
we have the town to mow this and not pay the $1,500.
right.
Cause I mean, even if it was 5 hours a day, once a week, it still wouldn't be $1,500. Right, that's, we just wanna make sure that that's clear.
That wasn't clear.
That's- I'm afraid somebody has already made that commitment though. So, any others? We're good on Cook's Brook.
What's Cook's Cross?
Cook Cemetery.
Cook Cemetery, it's right next to Cook's Brooks Pump House, which I go visit for the Brandons. Sorry,
It's,
it's the brook that runs next to the cemetery. Quite honestly, that's Cook's
That's
Brook.
very good of me.
That probably is, yep. What's this? That's not this, that's the next one.
it's not under other,
It is,
okay.
it is, see? You wanna listen when I told you to write it? No, this is,
These guys,
so we're all set here?
You're all set.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Between the conservation committee and their survey. But when I read the details on the survey, they did research for that line. So if at any time that the town wants to sell the old bottom lot, they should get a new survey for that line. Because this one was not researched.
who's the survey?
The towns on both sides.
Okay,
Oh, so we just don't have a dividing line at the cemetery.
They put a dividing line under the list.
we think we're gonna take the dividing line and go right across. You know, them 2 rows of maple trees? The 2 rows of maple trees?
Where you-
Just wait and see. The right line that comes out of his house.
Yeah, the road that came right off the porch. Yeah.
If it's on the downhill side, that's the cemetery. If it's on the uphill side, that's conservation committee.
Between the shoes.
If we've got to go out to the spray paint and put a line down, we will.
Oh, my lord.
Not necessarily.
There you go.
We're all set.
Center of the porch, right over the gate.
In the state of Vermont, a shake of a hand.
Thank you for coming. Sorry.
Oh, it'll be.
It's in the-
She's got a recording. She can just listen to it right after this minute.
Yeah.
It took a while to work out, but it worked.
All day.
Okay, what is that one right there?
Oh, nice.
That one there.
Nice.
I think I signed all the other ones. Conservation. Listers, sorry, question, road. Oh, sorry, sorry, right there. We went to, it was on there last time though, too.
What's this one?
Listers.
Lister.
That's- Yeah, we'll get that there.
Because we added it.
We added it. It's right there. How are we gonna see it? I wrote it in perfect date. No problem.
How are you?
Uh,
Excellent. Thanks for being patient.
That one's fun. Today has been a fun one. Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
All right, so looking at this, everybody's had a chance to look at this, probably not, because we've been pretty busy tonight. So, we did look at this the other night when you called, I brought it up here. And I believe if we go to, oh, I'm gonna get the page wrong, page 5, maybe. Listers, budgeted.
Yeah.
They budgeted $250 for education.
Right.
You did. Well, we might have done it for you. Because you requested it. You said we would, it was total,
No,
okay?
But-
However, we, as a select board, budgeted another $1,000 for education because we wanted to make sure that all the people that work for us know what they're doing when they sign something. So this $294, was that each or is that total? That's total. This $294 it fits exactly what we're looking at. I'm very glad you did this. I'm apologizing for not calling you the other night.
I was hoping to get done on the deal, but.
This just needs a motion.
I make a motion that we accept as presented the budget for the VLCT Town Fair on September 26th, training of the listers, 26th and 27th.
For a total of,
For a total of $294.
it's in there,
No, I mean in the motion.
in the motion.
I'll second that.
Was that was all three of you or two? Sorry.
That's all three of them.
It's all three of you.
We're only going one day. I got that.
Pat Evans, Sue Chomsky, and Sharon Evans.
Right. Basic.
We'll give you a copy of this.
I don't know what other.
The motion's to accept it.
I'm sorry.
John,
Elected,
Been made and seconded.
just a little speech here.
Yep.
I was called.
pause just for a second. Sorry, sorry. Motion's been made, seconded. All those in favor of accepting, Lance. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, sorry.
Note as a person just elected last November, we didn't really solicit the office, something called, so no one's running, please do on the ballot. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
well, actually, two of them. And I thought I'd be willing to take, et cetera, and I could do that sort of thing. This is a job for a Philadelphia lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that mentioned the wastebasket, and I'm learning, this much at a time. It's an amazingly complex world. Even when the state person comes to cheer us on what happens, she's just fixing things. But Sue's got 20 years experience and knows everything. Why watching everything? Even she doesn't know everything. And it's like, wow.
And it's hard because she's trying to get certain things done and we're asking questions all the time. So the training is really important.
And I think I've had for these things. But there, I don't know how many offices in the town would require that kind of education, auditor maybe. I haven't gone to a couple of planning commission meetings at the Up in the Swanson. What are they talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the spots we found that we were coming up short. You know, it basically was coming down to people to basically cover it on their own, and it's like, that's not right, so. And it's actually the responsibility of an employer to make sure that an employee it has the training they need to perform the job at the recommended.
I can be so far, I only had one to work with 5 parents.
See, there you go.
Hey, you're doing good. 20%.
One comment, question, whatever, if we could have done this more quickly, we could have saved you money. So the question in my mind is, do we allow ourselves to use a certain amount for training? And I don't think it's gonna happen again. I can say that really. We haven't had any training since before COVID, but the question is there someone who can jump in a little faster and enable us to take advantage of the deals that they give you?
Honestly, we didn't know that you had budgeted an education line. That $250, we didn't know you had budgeted that. Well, we might have, that's the problem, is we might have put it in because you asked for it and we didn't tell you that we put it in. In the future, if we put in $250 for education, if you see a class that is going to benefit you and the town, it would be my suggestion that you sign up for it.
Or,
Then if.
or
some sign-
I could say this, or, you know, if they, at budget time, let us know if there's something we need to budget for
Yep.
education, so that we can plan ahead that way.
Exactly what I was gonna bring up, yes.
No, this was coming up that.
Yeah.
You think about when we were teachers, we had a certain amount that we could spend on education courses.
Right,
We didn't have to go back to the school board to get that cleared.
right.
It made it a lot easier to sign up for things. That's all I'm thinking about, because you, I mean.
Unfortunately, you do.
Well,
Yeah,
I think 250 is a little light. Maybe we should go just a little bit more for another year. Set it up that way.
As Terry pointed out, the reason,
We
the
have,
only thing I would think is bring it to us ahead of time, if we can, preferably, because we did get bit one time
Yeah.
by an individual who went and used that time personally instead of to attend. Pretty point there, no, it wasn't. He said, so,
This, for foreign, I'm looking there, but I don't think.
Well, VLCT holds town fair every year. Now, you may not have heard about it.
Right.
You need to get on their mailing list, honestly, and I think
we
Pat,
can put out.
once you take the class, you're gonna see VLCT has courses throughout the year. The fair, they hone in on specifics and zoning and roads and listers. But all year long, these classes are available. And I'm pretty sure once you show up, they're gonna take your name and put you on the list. You'll see what's out there. The fair is just one snippet of an ongoing education that happens. Honestly, I get probably a dozen emails a month.
Yeah, we started getting the emails, because since I signed us all up, which.
Yep.
Andy, Tammy and Kathy, to get us, it was just like, since then, honestly, I have been getting, you know, maybe not every day, but certainly every other day emails from them, so I.
It's, you know what it is, that a lot of them are also reminders, this class is coming up, so you'll get the original and you get 4 reminders about it. But they have a lot of good stuff out there. And the other thing is when, and I said this to Josh, when we received the request, you already passed the deadline for the
major discount.
for the big discount.
But what you've done here is
Said they were offered 15%.
it's perfect.
Yeah,
Just get to us sooner.
yeah, sorry, and again,
Oh, you're talking the ones throughout the year. Yeah, a lot of them.
so, and just so you know, sometimes there is a box to check where you check it and it gets sent as a PO. So, yeah, that way,
Just kind of, sometimes they'll have them on.
It's fine, and you know.
my guess would be we'll have to put it on the credit card.
So I'm thinking, yeah.
Like we were signing in and then not.
Yeah, my guess would be what we'll have to do is either Tammy or Kathy will have to go in there with you or off this. And
It was,
last year it was billed, that's what I knew one of them was billed, I couldn't remember. So what they might be able to do is they might be able to go in, you give them this exact thing, they're gonna go in, they're gonna add all this to the cart. And then they're gonna put in a town ID, basically.
Yeah. From your memory, yes.
I believe actually the individual who took classes last year submitted their credit card receipts to us. That's how we approved that.
Do not do that, please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You didn't have anything?
Anybody put me up for the night?
Yeah.
You're in trouble now. I love the fact that your jacket matches your mask, by the way. Not you, but it does too, also to a degree.
We're thinking the red over there. Yours.
No.
I heard.
Oh, nice.
I heard Pat was volunteering to work on her house.
Oh, is he very sick?
I would have done my house if the.
Yeah.
I know.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
See you guys.
House.
That's
Grandson. Oh, it's,
not today. Not today.
It's only 8:24.
We're not done with this. We have a
Starving.
question for you.
I think
That's the backhoe for.
that was answered for digging up the water.
Egg pie.
Why don't we use that brand new beautiful excavator? with-
It wasn't there.
That was 90 grand.
Right. Yeah, he had.
Wasn't it the day before it got there?
The first one,
Oh, okay.
this was actually, we put the actual new hydrant back in.
Oh, okay.
And it was hydrant for the town. Our personal account.
Right.
Oh, Josh had to sign. I wasn't signing until I found out why we rented a backhoe when we have an excavator.
I
was worried about it, the thing that I saw is once he said that, I knew it was the second time it was on there, so I wanted to make sure it wasn't a double. Cause he was on there for the last one too. All right, what'd you get? It's junk, it's Max. It's just a little one on the back of a tractor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not, it's, what does that reach? 6.5 feet, maybe? Feet? Is it?
Oh,
Four feet, like, maybe.
Probably.
Oh, the back.
Marquis back there.
They went deep enough to do that job.
Yeah. Look good, you did a nice job. Sorry.
What was the job?
Another culvert,
Broken pipe.
yeah. Or it's culvert, yeah, water line.
Well, he did.
Yeah, he did one right next to the shop.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the, that's Tammy, that's on the warrants. We were just talking about why we were signing it.
Yeah.
Are you writing all this down? So you just wrote that? And you just wrote that? Hey, what about this? What about this? Did you just write that? This? All right. My head is numb, so I'm.
Cause you see the 255 from Larry, that was to bring the North Station, fill pipe, coated was copper or something.
Okay.
Had to bring him up.
That's
Yep.
what he did there.
Yep.
The Gorman was a chloride that we got back in July that apparently they didn't send a bill for, so.
I thought there was one we were supposed to get on, that was in January and they didn't.
January,
Yeah.
we got last summer.
Yeah.
So they paid them, we paid them in January, and then we got one in May, I think it was.
Okay.
And we needed a little bit more, so we got another one in July, so.
Road should be like rocks then.
they're better than Fairfields.
Yep.
Yep.
Fairfield,
That's a good job. You're getting an attaboy. Don't look so confused.
Yeah, no. you do good.
Dog road's horrible.
Yeah.
dust wise.
Oh, dust.
I bet it wasn't busted today.
Good.
Probably not.
What is? Oh,
I wanna part of it.
I only go on.
You're getting compliments.
What part of it?
I went all the way to Cat and then to the left.
I've been up and down Wichita and East Bakersfield and it needs grading.
Oh, you've done everything paved.
Oh,
Maybe Dodge was sending suspension.
his house like.
That was an actual moment.
Oh, skip, jump over it.
Let's not, let's not.
We're in that now.
$1,000.
That really only cost us $247.
Road reports.
We're never gonna
Feel like
let.
I'm on-
Anything to report?
Been playing with the excavator on the, with, East Road.
Yep.
Get a lot of brush, hogging, ditch.
That's one of the benefits. I think we're actually gonna save on the mowing, the roadside mowing.
Oh, I
Because we're gonna be able to reach out there and just kind of knock it all down, put it in the truck, we don't have to mow it if it ain't there.
Quite a bit of it just went flattened out. like-
Okay.
So it kind of looks like what you would if you'd have gone with a,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
but, yeah.
Speaking of mower. That bar thing we bought,
It's gone. Did we sell it or not?
did we?
No,
Did.
that was the extendable, yeah.
That's.
No, that sickle,
Yeah, the sickle man one, yeah.
yeah, what good is that doing us, anything?
It does the first row.
That's the first 6 feet.
Yeah.
5, 6 feet. So if you look at the edge of the road right now, you got brush that's, or grass that's that high, and then you got grass behind it that's 2, 3 feet higher than that.
Right.
And it keeps the brush off that. So if we did have the mower, you know, where you were gonna rent that one, you wouldn't have to do that particular first. pass.
You aren't paying for 2 passes in the same, or 4 passes, you pay for 2 passes,
Okay,
one up, one back.
that answers.
Yep. When we have somebody to run it, down to a 2-man crew, we don't really have anybody to run it, yeah.
Oh, shit, we're being road commissioner when it's Terry.
There you go.
Well, there's your problem right there, who's calling it one person. So, I mean, nothing on the roads.
Put a little bit of sand up just because it got to be that time of, right, you know, we haven't started really good, but, yeah. Dan come in and visit us once in a while. He did offer to fill in if we needed something to fill in.
Well, I mean, that may be it, if the grass is starting to get tall on the edges of the roads and he wants to go do some sickle bar mowing so many hours a week.
$18 an hour.
How's the pit holding up?
Gravel wise, good, sand wise, we hate to put the gravel in the sand pile.
Mhm.
So there's one spot it's turning into kind of sandy, so we're trying to work that in to see how much we get out of there. If not, there's like, it'd be the backside of the phase 3. So in other words, when
Yeah.
you drive in, go towards camp, hang out right where
Mm-hmm.
we dug a couple test holes up there the other day and it's sandier stuff. I'm just not sure how much it would go, but we're gonna try to see what we got on the other end of this one still.
At what phase are you coming back across on the field that would have been in front of the old camp?
I mean, that field itself, that's supposed to be phase, I believe, 8.
8, okay.
Yeah.
So we've still got a lot of, because there's a lot up there.
There's a lot of
Stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is.
How deep till you hit the ledge?
Yeah, and what kind of material is underneath there? Because you got. In the plan, it calls to strip 2 feet off.
Right.
Take 2 feet of gravel out, put the 2 feet back on, which really, you're better off, you can get into a face. But, you know, you gotta play the game, but.
Technically, you're supposed to stockpile everything you took off top, so you can put it back on the
Right.
top when it's
Right.
shorter.
Yeah.
Do I understand correctly? We made our final payment on that?
Yeah, fine.
So we own that puppy lock, stock and barrel now.
So
Yeah.
there's another,
What phase are we on?
oh man, I forget she writes everything down. Some of that stuff I might want to add this, ask them outside of the meeting. So is that it for road reports? Nothing else really?
No, really. Sometimes things pop in my head and move, but nothing.
They do let us know.
Oh, I will. I will.
So moving on to that then. You can stay there, but this class 4 road reclassification and trail discussion. We do have a boatload of stuff. I'm keeping the highlighted ones because I can't read. I'm joking. I can read, sort of. Westminster,
Are there copies for all this?
I think so. I think that's what,
Perfect.
I don't know, I only see 4. Some of these are, some of them are one pagers, all right. So do they?
Do you want to use these as homework or do you want to go, ask all of us to go through all of this tonight?
Yeah, no, it's definitely homework, there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would also say the earlier discussion would be a very good reason to push forward with the access permit policy, because
Yeah,
really there's no policy that says that should have been done, but
and I do think we need to educate the public.
yes. Yes,
I'm not blaming you or the board, I just think it's been a while, say, and made aware of that.
I think, and I think that's the problem, is I always thought that was kind of
Yeah,
town. Like, what do you call that? Policy,
yeah.
but yeah. I guess it does need to be in writing as,
Maybe we need,
And that kind of cool, that one of these I put in had that, I think it had.
I think it did.
On the back. There's one that does, yeah.
Another one?
well, there's a bunch of them here.
You need a form with the person.
Yeah, there is one that I kind of borrowed from another town.
Maybe this one actually,
But I might or might not know the road commissioner.
I don't know what that is, that's not it, that's something different, that may be.
Honestly, Bakersfield is a change in the state. But it was,
this one's Fairfield.
Yeah. There's-
Oh, sorry, that was like.
you know, because we were.
Right here, Town of Vermont driveway permit ordinances.
Yeah, great. Matt was had a form that they had to fill out, they do need to sign before they can do any more. But I don't find the road commissioner.
Last one, I hope.
Usually,
Right, right,
when we work, if I go look at it, you guys sign it.
yeah, but I think it's, you kind of saying you did.
You're most welcome, sir.
You see what I'm saying, like authorize without the board.
She's nice, I mean.
What's that?
Tammy,
This,
I collected
Huh?
one.
that's a lot of research there.
it is, and that goes along with the booklet that I gave you, and
Actually, it was my comment.
that's, oh no, they all took them, because we gave them to them before, but mine's up there, I just put mine back, it was. I hope not, well, maybe there is, maybe they all came back,
I'll say pretty much.
they all do say pretty much the same thing,
It's just
which
how
is
you want
good.
the money. Other than a few of them don't really fit down.
So. Like like Todd said, he did some research, he found some stuff, you've sent some stuff to me on some policies.
This was like an overall
I-
systematic policy kind of thing.
I hate to say it, Mac, but I think. A lot of that pickle that we got into tonight
I think
was,
You better be careful and
Yeah,
going to
you know,
executive
makes sense.
session.
well, I just think it was misspeaking
In general.
in general.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. It could have been done anywhere. I think it was done on both sides. I think, as a board, he brought it to a couple board members. It was brought up, but we did not, we didn't, attend to it the way it should have been. It should have been added to the next agenda and it should have been researched a little better, and I think that could have handled it. It wasn't brought to us the right way for the landowner, and you know, maybe some of the direction he got wasn't the best, so I think if we could work on one thing, I think it's overall communication as a whole, so that's my last discussion on that.
But again, I think that's where the form would take a little bit.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Because-
Like, I almost feel like you're right, like a complaint form, like if you got a form that said. Sorry, your mics,
Yeah.
if you got a form that said similar to the road access permit.
Right.
If it was a form that said, you know, Steve, Bob on Witch Cat Road. Drive, culvert crushed or culvert damaged or culvert needs to be replaced. You go look at it, you bring it to us, you tell us what you found.
Yeah.
And you say, it might need to be replaced, but I don't think we can do it this year, it might be next year. Then we call Steve Bob from Witch Cat Road and say, hey, look. Not saying that it doesn't need to be replaced, what we're saying is, we don't have the materials and time to do it right now, you're gonna be on the list in the spring, something to that effect. I think just clear and concise communication amongst all.
But I think if you got a policy in place.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Where that complaint, not complaint. It's not a complaint about the road crew. It's a complaint about either a road access or a road issue, you know?
Or it's a request to work in our right of way.
Yeah.
Really.
That's more,
Yeah.
It could be either or,
Yeah.
yeah.
if you had a policy that said we don't replace culverts. It's done. And I mean, because if you look at the number of culverts in the back road, you're gonna talk. The culverts we put in this week for a 30-footer, 15-inch steel that was bought in 2021, $700 and some odd dollars for the
Yep.
culvert.
Yep.
Yes, we can do it really quick, but you start doing 10, 15 of them a year, you're gonna have to start budgeting $10,000 a year just to replace.
Yep,
And as it is right now, we don't have anything in writing that says, yes, we do or no. we don't.
right.
So we'd put in the initial.
They put in.
They put in
and
the
then
initial.
Are we responsible for replacement or no?
That's-
The question, right?
That's the question. That's the way it was always interpreted
Right.
by myself and,
Do it that way, and a lot of towns don't do it that way.
yeah,
And a lot of towns say that if your driveway's coming across the road,
Right,
you don't do something about it when the board says it
Right.
needs to be done.
right.
Then you go back to the grader and you make a correction across the bottom of their driveway. You don't make it possible, but you make it so the water doesn't affect the town roads.
I mean, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of illegal accesses on the farm. I think I've got two there on the farm.
Mhm.
They've just been there forever, but I know they've never had a permit.
but are they residential or agricultural? Cause it does make a difference.
That makes a difference.
You know what? It's agricultural, but as far as I'm concerned, and I'm the owner. One of them is a hazard. It causes problems on the town road. It needs to be rectified.
So
I can take it out, or next time Mac ditches, he can take it out and I'll figure out a way to get across.
So I think that would bring a great point to what you're saying, Mac, is, you know, if we were to say our policy is to, the initial cost of the access is on the landowner,
Mhm.
and then replacement is on the town. For permitted access.
That's where you're gonna. do a lot of money.
Well, it's per permitted access, which says if Lance is
There's
using,
got to be something. I mean,
We-
boards before us had to have come across this.
well, without a doubt,
before
but
tonight.
I think,
There's never been a case that's come before the board? Really?
I think I've discussed and approved and written down.
not a policy. If you look at our policies, we have none on their policies.
I would suggest research. Walks through the door, and says, what do you think, and go ahead and fix it for it.
Tried to look up and see what.
No reason, that's what I'm saying. Some of us,
No,
all of us, two of us, three of us need to sit down and figure it out and then bring it before the whole board.
Yep.
And have them say, yes, this is what we wanna do, or no, that's not. what we wanna do."
I mean,
Yeah, you
if
can't
it's the
run
wish
the
of the-
town on the good old boys club. You
Yeah,
gotta
it-
have policies.
Right.
If we decide to do it, I mean, we're gonna just have to, they're gonna have to face the fact that it will raise taxes. Because we cannot
No, I agree with you.
to replace culvert if we choose to do it that route.
In our budget to plan for that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because almost $1,000 a whack, and that's not counting labor.
No, I was just gonna say, that's just time, that's a material.
That's
It's your
just
time is
material.
gonna be in your. yeah,
That's not
payroll,
counting
Right.
labor, that's not counting this.
Digging the old cover out, putting a new one in is.
It's not right.
It's not gonna take that kind of time.
Well, and hopefully now that we've bought this piece of equipment, whoops, sorry. Now that we bought this piece of equipment, hopefully ditching will be,
Oh, yeah.
because we've had to rent in the
Yeah.
past, and so you only do a certain,
Spend a couple of weeks every year, if not more.
Yeah. Mr.
not less,
Monson.
yeah.
and maybe that's what we need to do is get a plan in place so that
Start that up.
those ditches start getting done that haven't been done.
Well, and that's another part that could be put out there is, you know, yes, we have an excavator. We didn't get it until a couple weeks ago. You
Right,
know, so if everybody's like, oh, well, they got an excavator and they haven't. We got an excavator a couple weeks ago. It is being used on Egypt Road now, you're saying? Yeah, so,
Moving back this way, but whichever way we go. corner.
I would say, yeah, if Matt could come up with some sort of a plan, just a rough plan, at least then we can say to people, the plan's in place, this is when
And I
the road is gonna be done.
Actually, per that stormwater runoff,
They have.
they have places that we need to go to next, so the state has actually put that in place already for us.
No.
Well, Mac, you did say something about a smaller committee to come up with these, and
Yeah,
now, obviously, that's something you'd want to be part of.
and I think Mark should be a part of it as well, because down the road, I mean, he might not be the leader, but he would be in the same boat, and he has his opinions on.
He has his opinions.
I think access and stuff like that too.
Yep.
Every small group.
I think we agreed tonight, they're not supposed to give an opinion.
No.
No, an opinion on policies.
Oh.
That's, I'm saying create a small group,
Like I
a
think.
subcommittee,
He's a fireman.
absolutely.
They have concerns about accesses too. You know, if the driveway's long enough, they've got policies that need to be in that policy.
Yeah, I agree with that part.
And John, of course, being a computer
I
guy.
know nothing about roads, so
Oh, so you
I'm
guys.
out. I'm out.
Let me guess, you're a teacher. so
You don't have to guess. I am a teacher, yes.
You can only have one other select board person if you have Todd, otherwise you're gonna qualify,
You're right.
that causes problems.
Well, and the question is do we need another select board person? I think if Todd was to work with a couple of the town crew.
Yeah, because
I know who
you're gonna point the finger at when
Well, you don't really have any other options really, but I mean, I think Todd is perfectly capable and he's not afraid to speak his mind and. You just signed up?
No,
I thought he raised his hand and said, okay, you're on, no problem.
Yeah.
So, Mac and Todd, can I put it on you two to, maybe put your heads together and. Well, I mean, if you guys want to start meeting, that's perfectly fine, but if you want to nail out some times.
I mean, that wouldn't be nothing you'd need to warn, because you just.
No, you're not, it's just you're making policies to present to us.
You're just sitting.
Any afternoon I can stop by.
So there you go. Yeah, there's no quorum or anything.
I'll do some research to see. I've been trying to find other towns that have that already. Again, why recreate the wheel with something
Yeah.
already vetted?
Right.
Use it.
It's exactly,
I've been trying.
exactly.
Be tested in court if they
Yep.
was a.
So, and let's just remember not to bring personal feeling into this. I know.
It just bugs me when the ditch above somebody's culvert is 100 feet long, fully grassed and treed, that you say that covered that field, it just didn't happen that way, but.
Okay, well, that's,
I did look up in the FEMA cost codes, a excavator the size of what we got with 130, that's where the 8250 an hour comes from. that I'm
okay,
Billing this for.
okay.
So that's, you know, I mean, just in the last 2 weeks, you've gone. I don't know what. $1,400 there. $1,200 there. I mean, just, so you got $2,600 worth of.
Yep.
Road work,
Roadwork.
what the excavator.
Reimbursement,
Reimbursable.
Well, no, but if it was.
Okay.
that's a return on our investment is what that is, yeah.
But if it's a FEMA event, that's what you would be billing
Yep.
out at, because
Right.
that's what they want to see for cost.
Well,
Yep.
let me tell you, if Enosburg gets wiped out,
Yeah.
we'll send you over there and we can bill them out for more than that.
That's right.
So that's the road reclassification, and so Tammy, I guess what I'm gonna ask you to do is put under road report. Above road reclassification, we will put what was, geez, I'm drawing a blank, what was the things we were just talking about?
access.
No. Policy, road policy discussions.
Yeah.
So that when you guys come up with them, if you come up with 4 between now and next week.
Yeah.
We can discuss them. Next meeting, sorry, we can discuss them and.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there may be some real simple ones like
Right.
class 4 roads.
Right.
You know, you may go in there and say absolutely no work will be done on a class 4 road. That's simple.
Yeah.
That's easily something you can present to us at the next meeting and could be posted and approved.
Yeah.
So I think that should be in there reoccurring until completed.
Now, to be able to adopt this policy though, do we have to reach out to anyone that is
That's what Todd's
on
gotta
a
look up.
Class 4 road.
I don't believe so. I think it needs to be posted for X number of days.
A notification.
Yeah, I would assume you have to make.
I can ask.
It's just like when we threw up that road to a trail, the class 4 to a trail. We had to post, I don't think we had to notify everybody on it. We did, okay.
They would brought it to you to grow up.
I think it was just three
Wasn't the
people.
town saying we're gonna.
Oh, the people actually asked to have it.
Yeah.
done, So they could maintain it.
Well, they wanted it thrown up completely. We threw it up to a trail.
Because you don't, it's done.
Right, right,
You keep it as a trail,
yeah.
It's on a private land, which
Well, that's-
right?
Everybody
But
starts
but
talking.
this says it's a trail, you still have say in what happens to that trail.
Correct. It could be brought back.
Huh?
It could be brought back.
We
Yeah.
could,
You can take something to a trail,
And bring it back.
and if the town so needs, that could be brought back to a class 3 road, if at some point in time it needed to happen.
Not if you throw it up.
Now, if you throw it up as a trail,
Trail, yes, yes.
this town still maintains
Right.
the right of way and control of that.
Mhm.
So we'll put that on there. Todd, if you could look into the procedure for adopting policies also. That way we're within our rights to do all that. No, this is separate, yeah. Well, yeah, because the classification could be different.
policy.
It is a policy that, yeah, that needs a policy, so that's just gonna be one of the things they look into.
Okay, so just road policy discussions, no class 4 road, 3 class.
John, we did not get any new information on the Boston Post speed limit.
There was a problem with the device on the road, one of the two devices where the tube became disconnected was the term used to me. So they have re-put out the reader.
Seen that out.
It's not at the one that was right by the golf course
They
entrance.
left that one.
They said that one had good numbers.
put
They
it
wanted,
back out up
yeah, they
above.
put it back up by Jervis's.
Yeah.
They said that they wanted to, but remember I was asking about
Yeah.
the post. They said they
Yeah.
didn't have the post to connect it to anymore, so.
Okay,
They said they can use the first date, it just won't be as nice because you won't have date and time
Right.
synced up, so you can actually figure out the grid, but they
So
can.
they had the other crosswalk signs they could have hooked to.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know?
He did say he didn't want to put it anywhere where the golf carts may go.
Oh.
He did say that because he said it would
Makes
throw
sense.
off the
That makes
readings.
sense, yeah.
okay. Any other others on roads? Anybody have any complaints or anything Mac needs to know about?
Grading. Grading.
John,
That was all my.
Vermont, dirt road.
Grading,
You live on a dirt road. If you want a dirt road,
grading.
move to a pavement.
But these are roads I don't take Witch Cat. I mean, I take Witch Cat up, then it turns into Joyle. I don't come up East Bakersfield. I go down there because people are saying the road's bad. I went down Witch Cat to East Bakersfield tonight. We're losing the shoulder on Witch Cat in multiple spots because it's breaking away. On East Bakersfield, there's ruts running right down the middle of East Bakersfield and potholes. I will take you there, Tammy. I don't know how you got up there and said there's no problem. I could tell you Joyle has ruts,
In the ditch.
potholes and losing the corners, and the lower part of that turns into Witch Cat, that's still
We
a
have
problem
lot of
down there.
rain, too.
Now, I also heard something about Waterville Mountain.
Just went over it Friday.
This was like
Well,
a week and a half
we got
ago.
two people. And they're working on that grant funded area, which has to be done in a certain time frame. And you want this done by who, when?
Well, before it turns hard and we can't do it again, somebody soon.
Did you notice I was up?
I'm gonna have to ride it now tomorrow night.
Where were you?
Friday?
The Sugar House?
looking for
Is that who it was? I heard
Yeah,
a runner gone. I don't go over Joyle and take a right.
Virginia's
Come
gonna-
down Joyle and come across Witch Cat because the people in Witch Cat are saying it's bad down there. Well, that's awesome. Thank you.
You told me it needed it, now we're at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, the one that's bad is, yeah.
I heard Egypt Road is really bad, but in front of Lance Lawyers, it's smooth as a baby's.
Yeah, so that's false information, because we actually live from there.
And again, I graded the Egypt Road that same Friday.
Yeah. Take a look at the photos on which
After today, it's covered with shit too.
I didn't see it as bad, so I thought you may have done that with
They
the one
really say that. I was just
right by Todd Brown's old farm. That water board.
I'd say Egypt.
Yeah, we knocked that down, right? Yeah, I didn't think that, I thought that was much better, because like I said, that person in front of me nearly went in the trees, because I know it, so I go slow, and they bounced all through.
Well, I mean,
Down as far as which that road's been around.
other than turning the speed limit to every dirt road down to 35. I mean, there are certain things that come along with a dirt road. Washboard in a hill is one of them, especially caused usually by people in Dodges that have heavy feet.
That it wasn't me.
That was in no, I was, there's no way around it. You're gonna get, it's a constant. You can grade it on a Friday, but Monday it's gonna be washboard again, because it's just, you're gonna spin it up those hills if you don't baby it or put it in full growth.
But what I'm hearing from the folk is simply, we have two graders and they haven't seen them running. So that's why I'm asking, you know what, I'm not. Huh?
We're trying to hire another person.
September, but what I'm saying is these folks are coming and asking me, and I'm telling them, we're gonna get to it. I can't keep telling them, we're gonna get to it and not hit somewhere. Thank you.
And then drive Thursday, Friday.
Thank you, Matt.
Harden up like a rock.
I'll let them know that you're.
Then it'll rain and it'll all turn to mud.
Right.
You'll do your best to try to get there by the end of the week, weather permitting,
Maybe both of them will be
early
there.
next week. Thank you. Huh?
All set? Todd has another comment.
Go
down
ahead, Todd, sorry.
So under other, one of the things,
What-
I'd like to see done is I'd like to see us start advertising that grader for sale and see what we can get. See if we get any offers. If we don't, at least we tried, because I know that's some questions we've had from people in the town is, have you tried selling the other grader? If it was that bad, why are you keeping it?
Great.
Let's just see if we can, and then if we can't, at least we tried.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Todd, just for clarification of people in the public, and people who read the minutes. We initially were looking to trade the grader. We did not get a sufficient, we didn't feel as a board that it was a sufficient sum of money for that grader. We were then gonna sell it outright, but we have been preoccupied with trying to hire a new town employee. It is on our radar, Todd. Yeah. Two town employees, correct. Not both on the road crew, just throwing that out there.
What about trees? You have
Big
a
red.
lot of problems with trees with this wet,
Any blowovers or?
just falling because of the,
We had Thursday night was a big maple, but I believe that was weird. No, as far as falling, just falling now.
no.
I've never seen this, but it's been out a lot with that.
I've seen them a lot in my
Yeah.
travels the last couple of days
Yeah. So John,
from Thursday.
sorry, just to go back, are we confident that we'll have numbers by the next meeting? For the Boston Post?
Really
Stephen?
open.
Okay,
I've requested it, and the study should be done, if I understood correctly, by the end of this week, they should pull them up.
okay.
Pull up that, and hopefully, I mean, it gives them a week and a half to get them together or so, I'm hoping we'll have them by the next meeting.
Any others on roads? I know John was looking at his papers. You get another one? No other complaints? All right,
I'm looking at the next thing.
all right. How about
MERP, the applications have been submitted. We're in the waiting queue. Have you heard from them yet?
Yeah.
They just told us we're in the waiting queue and there's a lot of people.
And that email you sent.
Right, I saw that email.
And I kind of took it, our application hadn't really gone,
We put it in and submitted it,
Yeah.
but I think
but it
we're
was like 162 or something after. We didn't get the first selections away.
we're not in the first grouping at all. No, I don't think so. We hit a couple bumps getting them in, nothing major. We got it in fairly quickly,
Right.
but it's still,
Yeah.
you know, we weren't as fast as some folk apparently.
And they would be notifying us in the future.
You know,
So-
they finally get to ours.
So just to be clear, are we good for this season if we do not get for this next winter coming up? Is this building good for that? We know the south station and the north station are all right. We know the the library will get through, but this one was,
The concern.
this one was a concern with the heater for this season.
We had it cleaned last year.
They haven't
spoke to-
cleaned and gone through before the beginning of
The
the.
problem was, Todd, is we couldn't get anybody in to do it.
They didn't want to do it because
Yeah.
the age was. the
And I know you weren't on the board at that time, so
Sense.
we had,
Yeah.
I don't know, John probably got quotes or tried to get quotes from what, a dozen
know.
boiler companies, and nobody would touch them.
The Hubbard came in, Hubbard, Allen.
Albert,
Herbert.
Herbert,
Allen came in, well, his son came in and serviced it for us. I think he even wound up having to replace a part on one of them. We can absolutely call and ask for a cleaning. I mean, you know, I'm sure that they can come out, Tammy, if we're good with that, do we want them to come out and clean this one? Want to wait a couple weeks?
let's wait until,
Wait,
let's wait and see what we hear, because if we can do a full changeover, and I mean, I know no
I don't think
grants
that's
actually,
gonna happen.
grants don't work that fast, but
they don't.
Oh, it's not even the grant, it's supply and demand, there's not.
Okay.
I think it's-
Ordering equipment's almost a
Yeah.
year out.
that's what I'm looking at.
okay.
I won't say
Right,
meters are, but.
I thought we signed that already.
44 weeks plus.
Country clubs.
Already did.
We didn't sign it as it was done, right?
What, warrants and reports?
Highway crossing access.
Has the country club signs installed to your approval?
Yes, you just
They look nice.
haven't got there yet.
I had to raise.
It's in one of them.
Because of C, so I just raised it.
Final approval issued us.
Let's look good up there.
I- it
They're
looked-
in good spots and I think they look nice.
They did put up the stop signs like we had.
Yeah, I like the stop signs. The stop signs are pretty sweet. It's that third access. It's just you can't see from the road when people are
We've
gonna
actually
come out.
had
So
I trimmed the
golfers
trees
that
back
have
so we
made
can see.
compliments on the
Yeah.
people that have come golfing
yeah,
have made comments about it.
I think it looks great.
Or the signage in general.
All of it.
And
Perfect.
It's great.
That I like how you guys got where the carts are supposed to go and
Yeah. I think it looks great. I really do. The signs.
signs and all
There's
that.
little stop signs that he put in for the road. You know, I think that everything looks pretty good the way it is. And if anybody can't figure out what that little golf cart symbol is, they just don't ride there by there often enough because it looks just like a golf cart.
I can't sign.
What's the four-wheeler doing on
Like,
Here for it. You gotta do it.
yeah.
I would say.
Doesn't look like a job from the.
That's the garbage one.
What's
That's
that? Yeah. we can get rid of that.
just the guy that had all the.
Oh.
No, this is somebody new. Tammy, you got new stuff in here?
Oh, for you.
That's the correct something that was wrong on the other one.
He's not in Vermont,
No.
and the other lady that looks really good, she's not in Vermont.
You're gonna have to sign it twice. Once is for the application and the other part is for when it's approved.
Is so. This one,
Wait, she's, you sure she wasn't for
Sorry.
Vera's?
yeah, she is.
Oh, okay.
Sign it.
This one's, I'm assuming not. Okay. Okay,
There's two places to sign the thing.
sorry.
I must have full time.
What was the one you
She's sick.
Yep. I'm looking at new mail.
Okay, thank you.
We've got a couple applications that just have, or not applications, but resumes that just have name and a work experience. There's no like, what do they go with?
No cover letters to say. what they're
Yeah,
applying for.
nothing that says what they're,
I mean, this is a good resume. Right, yeah.
this is the one.
Right. You get one. Right.
You guys both have your mics off down there. Thanks.
Tammy, is that from the online responses?
Yeah, is that an online response? Tammy, can we tell which online response it's for?
No. But
Yeah,
Burlington, we don't live in Boston.
what we put in the Burlington Free Press, that was treasure.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
response to treasure.
All treasurers.
So
yeah.
somebody that's got
Right.
But I got you.
Okay, so, oh, okay, thank you, Tammy.
Okay.
Let me look at those. They're from the Boston Free Press.
Well, the one person is there's the since at what? I think there's, you realize it's 9 o'clock. I realize it was 9 o'clock at 8:30.
Is this
Karenina spray.
the one for the one that was discussed earlier? This is the original. Yes, yeah. This one is the one we discussed with Vera, correct?
Yes, that's the one I alluded to.
Okay, so that one is also been covered. Blue Cross,
8. Huh? Which guy?
that doesn't
This
show
is,
a permit.
this, yeah, it is. This is the original permit for Granger's driveway. Just saying,
It was in the new.
it was 99.
Yeah, why is it in the new mail?
Cause he pulled it. Right, you pulled it?
Pull that before.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
And yes, I did pull it before Granger built us. Kathy helped me.
I know, I saw.
Calm down, calm down. We already covered.
Talking about the bench.
It was right here waiting for the next meeting.
Which is today.
Oh, cause we got that during interviews?
Yes.
Yeah. Spoke with Tammy regarding Zoom meeting request, Blue Cross Blue Shield, happy to set that up. That's already been done.
It's in the books.
Oh my, that one's gone.
Correct, we did.
That one's gone. That one, that's all gone. That's
This was late, really late.
Supposedly.
they don't reappear.
Yeah.
So I think this is a picture of a,
There's road permit. I think.
that's a copy of.
Oh, okay,
It's just a copy.
okay.
So we have a picture of a request
Yes.
for the okay, so I can't sign a picture of a request.
What does it say?
The Progressive Party would like to, the Progressive Party would like to use the building to have their Progressive Party meeting.
Oh, there's a fee for that.
There is a fee, isn't there? Somewhere in here says it.
I think it's 85.
I don't think so. For political, did you pay a fee? I don't think so.
I don't think we charge the Democrats.
I think so. I don't think so.
Well, you can't charge a Republican, you didn't charge a
That's
Democrat.
This is progressive.
For political meetings, we do.
I don't think we do. Can I get somebody to make a motion saying that I can?
Motion to sign for the Progressive Party to be able to use the building on what date?
The 28th.
28.
Of
Who's asking that?
September 28th.
At what time?
Yeah, what time we talking, Judge? For the day,
7 PM to 8 PM.
7 to 8.
Wait a minute, what day is that?
Yeah, we gotta make sure there's no other meetings.
The 28th.
It's not a Monday.
Today's the 11th.
But is there a planning meeting?
There's no
As long as there's no other meeting.
Who's coming out with the building?
September 28th is a
Not on.
Thursday night.
Progressive Party
yet.
wants to-
Who opens the buildings for these meetings?
I have no idea.
Tammy does.
Phil Bruns is the guy requesting it.
Does
I-
Phil have does Phil have access to the building?
7 to 8 PM.
On a Thursday.
Well, so the problem is I don't know if my kids have any games that night, so I may not be in town.
Calendar.
If you
The
work.
20th is a Thursday night.
It's a Thursday night.
I can be here.
I'm not.
Tammy, when did you get
This month.
your meeting? Is that next Monday?
Monday on the 18th is the planning commission.
So if somebody were to remind me, I could probably do that.
Either you-
So Tammy, we're gonna sign this.
I will second that motion.
Motion's been made by John to seconded by Todd. Holy Toledo.
So for Progressive Party to use building,
September 28th at 7 PM.
9:28,
Niner.
7 PM. Okay.
Are you okay?
No,
Do you have it?
Lance, if you can-
I can't read this writing.
Okay,
My problem
Never mind.
remembering.
All those in favor?
sure.
Aye.
That's
Right.
2 out of 5, 3 out of 5.
I signed it.
The building.
Tammy.
Oh,
No, Lance said that if somebody can remind
That's
him.
why I seconded.
So Tammy, when you send this back to, no, focus. When you send this back to the person, can you just put Lance's, you want home phone number?
If Carolyn Bronze calls me or Phil Bronze, I don't care,
Phil, yep.
calls me, I will come up, meet them and let them
So
in.
if you could just give them Lance's contact information so that that's all done.
And if
If
something
they fail
comes
to
up,
call me, then
Lance was a finer grant from.
you know, you can't get
That's why I
over
was
to it, and I'll cut over.
that's why I was looking at the calendar. I don't.
Yeah, I don't have anything,
Think
but
I
if
just-
something crops up and you're like, hey, I can't get there, call me.
Okay.
I thought Phil Bruns had a key to the building.
how would he have a key to our building?
Why do I think that, or Carolyn,
Because
they met.
because he's, hold it. Didn't they want to be the auditors?
Yeah, but they haven't decided if they're gonna.
They still haven't?
I don't think that's fine.
What is it?
And back is bought in Bakersfield, I heard.
What's that?
Has purchased property in Bakersfield, so we gotta ask him if he wants to be audited.
Doesn't Carolyn Bruns have a key to this building?
I don't know why.
Oh. She's a part of one of the commissions.
I think she's on the conservation committee.
don't feel like,
They meet here.
I don't feel like I should read this one out loud, but everybody is willing to read that one.
Tammy, can you please check with Carolyn Bruns to see if she has a key to here, her or Phil? Because for some reason, I know they meet here. I don't know who opens the building up, but they meet here without me, so.
It does say chair on, it does say board chair next to his name. I don't know what board he's a chair of, but might be.
Could be the party, but I think I come here to record meetings for them. And they're here. They were in the building and they hold meetings here, so somebody has a key here.
Perfect. If they don't need to call Lance to get in, then they won't call.
Because if Sharon.
They won't call and I won't remember.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Making us aware.
Yep, I just didn't want it to, that's, so, not public, just knowledge.
I will.
Actually, I knew about.
Okay, so next up is Brigham Academy update. Any new news?
No new news.
Okay, no news.
It's the news.
At this point. Sorry, is there any others, John?
Yes, I have one other. I'd make a motion to adjourn.
No.
I make a motion, we go into executive session to talk about some personnel.
Oh,
In regards to some
I would also,
employment opportunity.
correct, I would also request that Mac be present.
Yes.
Nation, sorry. That
That motion.
motion's been made and seconded to go into executive session. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We're no longer muted. We're live, not Memorex. I make a motion that we tender an offer to Samantha Kolf for the position of town treasurer.
I second that motion.
No, I didn't notice
We're working here.
Motion has been made and seconded to offer the treasurer position in treasurer in training position to Sammy Kauf. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
All right, Todd.
I make the motion, we to adjourn.
I second that motion.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Have a good night.
All right.